You know, the cold temperatures often lead to problems starting your car. What about the things that are inside?
Yeah, you probably don't think about this as much, but Elisa Henry is outside today. She's going to brave the cold for us once again with 6 things you should never leave in your car during these kinds of frigid cold temps. Elisa?
That's right, guys. I'm kind of cheating right now because I'm actually inside my car with the heat on maximum. But my photographer, Chris Bax, he is outside in the actual cold. But I'm going to talk about, as you said, some things that you shouldn't leave in your car. I know a lot of people like me have a ton of stuff in our car all the time, but there are some things when the temperatures are low, like 8 degrees right now, you want to take out of your car. So let's take a look here. First, let's start with your cell phone. So you may have noticed if you've been using your phone over the past several days that sometimes it just doesn't work in the cold. Now, Apple, this is an iPhone here, they advise against storing your iPhone or your iPad at temperatures below -4. But they also say that your phone shouldn't even be used if you're outside and the temperatures are below 32 degrees. Obviously, not using your phone when the temperatures are below 32 degrees is not an option for most people. But if you do notice that your phone is cutting off, it's not working properly, it is because of the cold. Once you take it indoors, though, they say it should be fine. And the same for Samsung. The next thing is soda. Here's my big can of Mountain Dew. This is how I survive on most days. Now, water expands, of course, when it freezes, and so they say that canned liquids under pressure can explode. So the freeze temperature for Coca-Cola products is 30 degrees, and for beer, that's 5% alcohol by volume, is 27 degrees, and higher alcohol beers freeze at lower temperatures. So be careful if you have pop or beer in your car. Just go on and take it out, or else you might have a science experiment in your cup holder there if it explodes. The next thing is eggs. Now, a lot of people wonder this with groceries. You know, are your groceries fine in the car? Is it like a refrigerator? They don't recommend, the FDA does not recommend you leave groceries in your car, eggs in particular, because when they freeze in their shells, they actually lose their consistency on the inside, and it makes the yolk be too thick and syrupy, so it won't work very well. Now, you can make a hard-boiled egg if you're going to still use those frozen eggs. They do say, though, that if any of those frozen eggs end up cracked, I'm going to open this here to see if any are cracked. I don't think any of them are. If any are cracked, though, they say just go ahead and throw those away. Don't even try to use them. If they're frozen and not cracked, you can go ahead and put them in the fridge. And then, as I said, maybe make hard-boiled eggs, but don't try to use them as you would use a normally refrigerated egg if they have frozen. Same thing goes with milk. A lot of people do freeze their milk in order to save it and preserve it. Milk always can kind of be, that's kind of iffy. Just, they say make sure to smell it first. Don't taste it. Smell it. Make sure it's still okay. Same with canned goods. I got some Beanie Weenies right here. The same thing with a can of pop, where if the water freezes on the inside, it could explode and it could just taste disgusting, which Beanie Weenies aren't very good in my opinion anyway, but that's the case for any canned goods. Another one is medication. Now, these are some anti-inflammatory pills I had for my wrist, but if you have liquid-based medication, you want to make sure you don't leave that in your car. Same for baby formula, especially if it's the liquid kind, because it can separate in the bottle, and that can be bad for your baby. So there are several things just to be aware of if you have them in your car on a regular basis. Musical instruments are another one. Your kid leaves their instruments in the back seat. Make sure that you get those out. Speaking of the back seat, this is the car seat base in here, just as an example that you never want to leave your loved ones, your children, your elderly parents and loved ones in the car when it's cold. It's just not safe. Be sure to bring them out of the car. Don't forget your baby in the back seat, because temperatures like this are very dangerous for everyone, including young children and the elderly. So those are just a few tips of things to make sure to take out of your car. And this is probably the cleanest my car has ever been, because I knew I was doing this morning. But, you know, if you have stuff in your car normally like I do, be sure to take a look at what you have and get it out of the car. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, we mentioned pets, too. Yeah, don't forget your pets.
Please don't leave your pets in the car. They cannot handle it.
Elisa, I need my Beanie Weenies back, please.
Oh, you really like them. That was lunch.